What if everything you've been told about success is only half true? The world's most successful people aren't always the smartest, the hardest working, or even the most talented. And history proves it. Take Ignaz Semmelweis. He was a brilliant 19th century physician who discovered that doctors were spreading deadly infections simply by not washing their hands. His idea could have saved thousands of lives, yet he was ridiculed, rejected, and died in a mental asylum. Meanwhile, Louis Pasteur, a scientist no more intelligent than Semmelweis, took a different approach. He built credibility, leveraged persuasion, and structured his work around proof, not just discovery. The lesson? Being right doesn't matter if you don't know how to position your ideas. Success is not just about knowledge, it's about execution, influence, and adaptation. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use these principles to shape your own success. Part 1. The fallacy of hard work alone. For centuries, we've been sold the idea that hard work equals success. But here's the problem. Many of the hardest working people in history died broke. Many of the richest people work fewer hours than the average employee. Example, Richard Arkwright, the unlikely Industrial Revolution king. Richard Arkwright was not a genius, not an inventor, and not even formally educated. Yet, he became one of the wealthiest men of the Industrial Revolution. He didn't create new technology, he saw how to systemize it. He didn't just work harder, he created an environment where others worked for him. While other textile workers labored endlessly, Arkwright patented the technology, scaled operations, and controlled the market. The science behind this: hard work creates fatigue, not necessarily progress. Cognitive psychology shows that leveraged effort creates exponentially higher returns than direct labor. Success isn't about working harder, it's about engineering systems that multiply effort. Part 2. The hidden trait that predicts long-term success. If intelligence and talent aren't the best predictors of success, what is? Psychological studies show that grit and delayed gratification are far stronger predictors of long-term achievement than raw IQ. Example, Angela Duckworth's study on grit. In one of the most famous psychological studies, Duckworth found that grit, not intelligence, was the most significant factor in success at West Point Military Academy. Cadets who persevered through difficulty outperformed those with higher IQs or athletic ability. Why this matters? Grit equals passion plus persistence over long periods, even without immediate rewards. The ability to stay consistent despite failure separates winners from quitters. And this is exactly why so many brilliant minds fail. They lack the psychological endurance to persist through rejection, setbacks, and obstacles. Part 3. The science of decision-making and the power of mental models. Most people fail because they make decisions based on emotion, not logic. Example, Charlie Munger and the latticework of mental models. Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, is famous for using mental models, frameworks that simplify complex decision-making. Instead of relying on gut instinct, he filters decisions through tested models like the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. 80% of results come from 20% of actions. Inversion thinking. Instead of asking, how do I succeed? Ask, what would guarantee failure? And avoid those mistakes. Opportunity cost awareness. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. The science behind this: decision fatigue research shows that humans make worse choices as mental energy depletes. High performers eliminate unnecessary decisions so they can focus on what truly moves them forward. The takeaway? Systematic decision-making beats emotional decision-making. Every time. Part 4. The neuroscience of success. How to rewire your brain for high achievement. Most people never succeed because their brains are wired for comfort, not growth. Neuroscientific research shows that the brain seeks familiarity and avoids uncertainty because of the amygdala's role in processing fear. But high performers hack this system. Example, neuroplasticity and the success of Eleanor Maguire's London taxi driver study. Maguire's research found that London taxi drivers developed larger hippocampuses due to years of navigation training. This proves that your brain physically changes in response to intentional learning and discipline. The lesson? You are not stuck with the brain you have today. By forcing yourself into discomfort, your brain rewires itself for higher performance. This is why elite athletes, CEOs, and high performers push through resistance. They are literally reshaping their neural pathways for success. Part 5. Why your social circle can predict your future success. Your environment dictates 90% of your success. Example, the Roseto effect. Why an Italian village had 0 heart disease. In the 1950s, researchers studied Roseto, Pennsylvania, where residents had unusually low heart disease rates. The reason? Not genetics, not diet, but strong social bonds and communal support. This study proved that environment is one of the strongest predictors of long-term well-being. The success application. Your environment shapes your behavior. Your network influences your habits, beliefs, and mindset. The fastest way to level up is to surround yourself with people who force you to grow. Want to predict your future? Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Final takeaway, the hidden success formula in one sentence. Success is not about talent, luck, or intelligence. It's about creating systems, rewiring your brain, and strategically positioning yourself for growth. Comment below. What's one change you'll make today to rewire your success?